Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you're having a wonderful week. Today is the day finally Alanis Morissette has released her ninth studio album, her first album in 8 years, called Such Pretty Forks in the Road. I am extremely excited. I listened to her album Jagged Little Pill, her iconic album, for the very first time earlier this month on July 1st, Canada Day, and I absolutely loved it. So this will be my second Alanis Morissette album. I grew up with Alanis Morissette all through the 90s. I know all her greatest and best hits from her albums, but unfortunately, I haven't listened to many of her albums. I've only listened to one so far. But I do plan on going on my Alanis Morissette discography journey very soon, listening to all her albums for the first time. And I am looking at the track list right here. There are 11 tracks, and the album is 46 minutes, and I don't recall hearing any of these songs yet, so this video is going to be a true first listen video. I don't have much to say right now, so let's just get right into it with track number one, Smiling.
This is a life of extremes, and this my loose recollection of our falling. This is my first wave of my white flag. This is the sound of leaving bottom. This my surrender, if that's what I call it. Keep on smiling.
Alrighty, and that was track number one, Smiling. This was such a great song. I loved listening to every second of it. It's so great to hear Alanis Morissette's voice again after all these years of not releasing new material. Her voice is just, I can never get enough of it. So it looks like she is waving her white flag. This is the sound of me hitting bottom, so she hit rock bottom. This, my surrender, if that's what you call it. So she's waving the white flag, and this is her surrender, if that's what you want to call it. And she is falling, but even though she hit rock bottom and she's falling, she is still smiling, and I keep on smiling and keep on moving. She does say that she is the notorious bottom dweller and the ceilingless brave explorer lured to the ends of overwhelm. But this is her first wave of the white flag, so she is surrendering to what? I don't know. I will also say that one of my favorite parts of the song was the very end, the last 50 seconds or so, where there was that build up, and then it was just pure instrumental. You could just hear the drums, and it was great to listen to. So now let's move on to track number two, Ablaze.
First thing that you'll notice is some separation from each other. Yes, it's a light to my mind. All that energy, so I don't love your hues. My mission is to keep the light in your eyes ablaze. And this cord is unbreakable. The light in your eyes ablaze.
Okay, and that was track number two, Ablaze. This is another great song, but I will say, I'm loving these songs, but this album is a bit somber. It's not putting me in the best mood, but I also feel like there's a sense of optimism as well. So though it is a bit somber, I feel like there is also a light at the end of the tunnel when I do read these lyrics. It's not just doom and gloom. She is singing about still smiling even though she hit rock bottom, and she's waving her white flag. And this song in particular, Ablaze, keeping the light ablaze in her children's eyes. I'm assuming she's singing about her children. She does say in the song, to my boy and to my girl, my precious gentle warrior. She also says this nest is never going away, and when she says nest, I think of a family. There's that saying that kids leave the nest, they leave the home once they turn 18 and go off to college or wherever. They leave the nest and leave the parents on their own, or parent, or whoever raised you. I don't know too much about Alanis Morissette's life, and I wasn't aware that she had children. She has 3 kids, and she gave birth to a baby boy last year. And she has 2 other kids. She has a son named Ever, who was born in 2010, and a daughter, Onyx, born in 2016. You may be overcome by darkness and a sense of hopelessness, but it won't matter if you keep the cord connected to the oneness. So I've really enjoyed everything she has to say on this album so far in the first 2 tracks. So now we're going to move on to track number 3, Reasons I Drink.
These are the reasons I drink. I have been working since I can remember, since I was single digits. I feel such rapture and my comfort is so strong. Here are the reasons I eat, and these are the reasons I don't even think I would quit.
Okay, and that was track number 3, Reasons I Drink. This was a very powerful song, and I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. She gives you the reasons as to why she keeps drinking, and she also gives you the reasons as to why she keeps eating. She says right here, "So that's it, I'm buying a Lamborghini to make up for these habits to survive this sick industry." And I'm assuming when she says sick industry, she's referring to the music industry. She's telling people that she's fine even when she's not, and she's saying that she's been working since she can't remember, since she was in single digits. Like I said already, I don't know too much about Alanis Morissette's personal life, so I don't know what she was or still is going through that is making her choose these self-destructive habits. I don't know why she's singing about these particular things in these songs. In track number 1, Smiley, track number 2, Ablaze, Reasons I Drink. I definitely want to look into it and research it after I'm done this video. I'm just naturally a very inquisitive person, so these kinds of things I'm just very interested in. I'm very interested in learning about people's lives. And there are times where I do feel uncomfortable when I listen to songs like this that deal with drinking and alcoholism, because alcoholism does run in my family, and I don't have too many fond memories about stuff like that. So it's always somber for me to listen to and read songs like this. So now we're going to move on to track number 4, Diagnosis.
'Cause I don't even care anymore. Call me what you need to. And I no longer give a damn, as I am frozen on the spot. And all of you are so frustrated. Everyone around me is trying to help as much as they can. 'Cause I don't even care anymore. Call me what you need to.
Alrighty, and that was track number 4, Diagnosis, and I feel like this is one of the more emotionally stirring songs on the album. It was for me. In the song, she is essentially saying she doesn't care anymore. Call me what you need to make yourself comfortable. And she says, I haven't left the house in a while. I no longer give a damn about the things that used to matter. She does seem to be singing about addiction quite a bit on this album so far. And I'm reading a little blurb here on the internet. And speaking about her addictions, Morissette said her main ones were work addiction, love addiction, and food addiction. The musician also revealed that she'd suffered from an eating disorder since childhood. I guess now the song Reasons I Drink makes sense a lot more, because not only does she say the reasons I drink, but she also says the reasons I eat. This is quite the somber album. It's not an easy listen, especially when you can relate to some of the things she is singing about. So this album isn't going to put you in a happy mood. But even though this album is dark, there are bits of light peeking through as well when she sings about her children, and even in track number 1, how she keeps smiling even when she hits rock bottom. So I am very curious to see where this album goes with the rest of the tracks on the album. So now let's move on to track number 5, Missing the Miracle.
You call it bright, and I call it simple. You see a figure skater, and I fear the ice is thin. And will I hear you believe on the same miracle? Turns to gray.
Alrighty, and that was track number 5, Missing the Miracle. Our front that was united is doomed. You call this brick and mortar, I call this sacred skin. I like this lyric. You see the figure skater, I fear the ice is thin, and the light is all around us. And when we leave the ring, no one's won. I go for the jugular. And I am enjoying this album so far. I'm liking the songs. She's pouring out her heart and soul, and I'm learning a lot about Alanis Morissette just from reading the lyrics. I'm learning a little bit more than I knew before about her personal life, but we're on track 5 already, and the energy is kind of leaving me. This is a somber, sad album. There are bits and pieces of light shining through, of optimism, like I said already, but it is a little draining. It is for me. This album is a bit draining, just with everything she's talking about and the themes running through this album. So now let's move on to track number 6, Losing the Plot.
Ushered back into silence, only when everyone else. 'Cause I am losing the plot. I am breathing the air of superwoman. With my relevance and dust, and I can't keep it up. I'm losing the plot.
Alrighty, and that was track number 6, Losing the Plot. I'm grieving the end of a superwomaning. I have laid down my cape, as though I haven't risen like a phoenix from 1,000 deaths. I like that line for some reason. As though I have not been reborn to notice that. I find this line a little interesting, and everybody is rushing to sob at the podium and thank the ones who loved and exploited well. And when I read that line, I mean, this is my interpretation, but I'm thinking of award shows like the Grammys, American Music Awards, the Oscars. Someone wins that shiny trophy and they go up on stage and thank everyone who helped them. They thank the people they love, the people who love them, and also apparently the people they exploited or the people that exploited them. As though this fame and pressure has not been a vice around my head. I did enjoy this song as well. It's keeping in with the theme of the album. But I feel like I'm not in the right mindset right now to be listening to this album. I don't know, this album is a downer, and I don't want to feel down right now. This would be a great album to listen to if I was going through something, if I was depressed, if I was having severe anxiety about something, if I was just sad because of something that occurred in my life. But I'm not going through those things right now, so it's just difficult for me to listen to this album right now. But saying that, I'm still enjoying the album. I'm enjoying her voice. Her voice is always filled with emotion, and I'm liking the lyrics, I'm liking the sound of the album and the production. I just don't see myself going back to this album continuously all the time. So now let's move on to track number 7, Reckoning.
Hey, hey, little wonder, you walk the fields with
already, and that was track number 7, Reckoning. She's singing about you walk the fields with all the fences down. Um, while they preyed on all you ached for, and they pounced as they would while the guards were away. And then she goes on to say, I hope you enjoy these drawings in your jail. So I don't know who or what she's singing about in this song in particular. And I feel like this might be one of my least favorite songs on the album so far. I'm just really hoping she changes things up a little bit in terms of the mood, because it's very consistent. I will say this album has been very consistent with, I hate using this word all the time, but it's the best word I can use to describe this album, just very somber. So now let's move on to track number 8, Sandbox, Love. Okay, that was track number 8, Sandbox, Love, and I actually really like this song. The first minute or so, I didn't really know what to make of it, and I wasn't really feeling it, but around the middle part, about halfway through, I was actually enjoying it. This is one of those songs, in my opinion, that I feel like would sound a lot better if it was sung live. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for proving them all wrong, cause you are my love, and you are not them. Healing as fuck, playful as fuck, present as fuck, us in our sandbox. I also really like the production on the song as well. So now let's move on to track number 9, Her.
I am on the floor. I am in my kitchen. And so I'll pray to her today. I ask for mercy and she's not buying my shell. She treats them like they're angels. And maybe they are angels, really. Come what may.
Okay, and that was track number 9, Her, and I really, really liked this song. I feel like it's one of the strongest songs on the album so far, in my opinion, and it's probably one of my favorites. She is saying, I don't know who to reach out for when I need, so I'll pray to her today. I ask for mercy and I beg for pauses. She's not buying my shell, she sees right through my armor. She lingers in my shadows knowingly. She treats them like they're angels, and maybe they are angels, really. So I don't know if I'm just a moron, which would surprise me. But I'm having issues deciphering this song. I don't know if it's metaphorical or it's actually religious. I don't know who this her is, so I don't know if the her is referenced religiously or if it's more metaphorically, or maybe an actual person. I don't know. And the word her is capitalized, capital H-E-R. Just like when people capitalize H in him, more often than not, people who do that are referencing God himself. So I don't know. So in terms of religion and spirituality, I don't know where she is 25 years after Jagged Little Pill. Coursing through my veins like Liquid Mary or Mary Jane. She could be singing about Mary Jane, which is slang for marijuana. So if you guys know, maybe you can figure out this song better than me, leave a comment. So now let's move on to track number 10, Nemesis.
Open the front door. You walked in all handsome. Change. You are my nemesis. Transition, I hold my breath. This metamorphosis, close the door and open the window.
Okay, and that was track number 10, Nemesis, and I really enjoyed the production on this song in particular. And she's saying that you walked in all handsome and ready for something you saw in my eyes. Right here, we sat and we tripped out. Saw celestial mosaics, and I fell and I crawled over and held your hand. I'm excited, yet I'm filled with despair, anticipation, and dread. This metamorphosis closed the door and opened a window. So she's perhaps scared of change and transition, yet she's also excited. But the excitement also fills her with despair, anticipation, and dread. She seems to be also singing about this gentleman. You walked in all handsome, so I don't know who this guy is that she's referencing. He came to us in the bed in our bedroom, and you trusted me enough to follow me anywhere, or the other way around. I actually don't know if Alanis Morissette got married or not. She has 3 kids, and it says here that she did marry a rapper named Mario back in May of 2010. So I don't know how many, if any, of these songs are about her marriage. When it comes to musicians and their lyrics, whenever they sing about their significant other, or they sing about a marriage or a divorce, it always seems to be negative. And it's never positive. So once again, if you guys know what this song is about, Nemesis, please leave a comment. So we have made it to the end of the album, track number 11, Pedestal.
I'm sure every purpose perked you up. How could it not? And one day you'll see that you've never really seen me. As this pedestal crumbles down, I'm sure you enjoyed my name. Who wouldn't? One day I'll find out that everything I dreamed of wasn't true for you. I hope you enjoyed the ride. Who wouldn't?
Okay, and that was track number 11, Pedestal. And this was a great song. It was a great way to wrap up the album. And this is a sad album. And like I said already earlier, it is a little draining. And every opportunity threw me, helped you climb, didn't it? Dropping my name, blew doors open that were closed before. So this person, I guess, was taking advantage of the fact that she is Alanis Morissette, and I don't know who in particular she's singing about, but this person was taking advantage of her name. They were using it to climb the social and career ladder. I mean, how many people do that? You know, can you imagine being, I don't know, Britney Spears or any major celebrity or musician, Lady Gaga, or I don't know, whoever, Ed Sheeran, for example. And if you're related to them, or if you're an acquaintance or a friend, family member, just dropping their name and having these opportunities open to you, I'm sure you enjoyed my name. Who wouldn't take advantage? You grabbed my crown and got everything you wanted. And one day you'll see that you've never really loved me. One day I won't be craved the way you crave me now, as this pedestal crumbles down and crashes me to the ground. This is beyond tragic. I don't want to use that word, but it is. It's sad. This whole album is sad and tragic, and I feel bad for her. I hope you enjoyed the ride. Who wouldn't? So the vultures are swooping in. They are taking advantage of Alanis Morissette and her fame and her money as her world crumbles around her. So I imagine she's not only singing about one person, but she could also be singing about many people. I mean, she's been in the music industry for so long, and especially since her album Jagged Little Pill 25 years ago. I mean, Jagged Little Pill is one of the biggest selling albums of all time, so I can only imagine the shady, fucked up people who entered her life and people who took advantage of her and her name and her money and her fame. And just, I can't even fathom that. As this pedestal crumbles down and crashes me to the ground, you're left with a human being. So she's been on this pedestal her whole life, this amazing, talented celebrity and musician. And when it crashes down, you're just left with a human being. At the end of the day, that's all we are. We're just human. Regardless of how successful you become in life, you know, you could be fucking Beyonce or Alanis Morissette. But at the end of the day, we're still human. We still bleed. And at the end of the day, we all fucking die. I have no idea what I'm talking about now. I'm just rambling. Oh my god. So once again, if you guys know the true meaning of the song, leave a comment. If you know more about this album than I do when it comes to the themes and the things she's singing about, discussing, please leave a comment. This was a difficult, I don't want to say difficult, it was just a very tiresome album to listen to just because it was, once again, I'm gonna use the word. Do you know which word that is? Somber. It was somber and it was dark, and I don't have a problem with that. I love music that deals with heavy subject matter like this, but it does put me in a down mood, and I don't want to be in a down mood. You know, I'm not in that mindset right now, so this won't be an album I go back to all the time. There are actually a few songs on here that I really, really enjoyed and I would 100% go back to a lot. I liked the first half of the album and I liked the second half. I didn't really care for the middle part of this album. There were a few tracks there that I didn't really care for. I was a little indifferent to, but I liked the start and the end of this album. But once again, that's just my opinion. I'm gonna have to listen to this album a couple more times to fully digest it. What did you think of this album? How does this album rank when it comes to all her other albums in her discography? Because I've only listened to 2 of her albums, Jagged Little Pill and now this one, Such Pretty Forks in the Road. I haven't heard her other albums, but like I said at the beginning of this video, I will be going on my Alanis Morissette discography journey soon, hopefully. I do think this was a solid album. It's not perfect, but I liked reading about her life, and I liked the lyrics. I really liked the production. So I think that's all I want to say on the album. You can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Twitter, you can message me, you can tell me other artists I should check out. I'm open to any artists from any decade. You can find me on Apple Music, you can check out my playlist, and so on and so forth. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care. I'm done. Bye.